Ça peut aller sur les. There you go. We are live. So right now it should be like broadcasting live on LinkedIn, on
Okay.
YouTube, on Twitch. So we'll see how it goes. So everybody who's watching, hello and welcome. And I have with me the one and only Last say the GitHub star
Uh,
from Senegal. How
uh,
many commits do you do a day, man?
those days I have not been doing a lot, to be honest, and I'm far from being a GitHub star though.
No, you are to me.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah. I had this strike where I was heavily, angrily committing, but I think it's gone now.
that's always good, man. And
Mm.
for people who don't know you, what do you work on day in, day out?
I work as a senior software engineer at OpenFN. So daily I do data integration, data interoperability. It's
Mm-hmm.
like we automate workflows for some organizations, mostly social impact organizations,
Mm-hmm.
and mostly in healthcare, health ministries in different developing countries.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, data integration is the word.
Cool, cool. Hello, Musa. Musa Njai who's saying hello from LinkedIn. Good to have you, man. So data integration, a lot of like artificial intelligence and stuff like that.
Not in that
Not
way,
much. Mm-hmm.
not much artificial intelligence, but more like automating processes. It's more related to business process, some business requirements from different clients that
Mm-hmm.
we will automate using our own tools actually, and that we will
Mm-hmm.
let run in our platform. So
Nice.
automation end to end, but with no AI involved.
Okay. Can you automate my work, please, so I don't have to do much anymore?
No, we still need you. We still need you to do these things. So no way.
How did you run into Copilot?
I'm curious. I'm very curious. I don't
Mm,
remember how I run into Copilot, but I think it was maybe in Twitter, probably in Twitter actually. And I was seeing
mhm.
that this big AI stuff that can help you do things, and I was really curious. So
Mhm.
I hopped in the wait list actually.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I was in the
Yeah.
waiting list myself too, but I'm not a patient man, so I said a lot of bad things to them before, like they finally opened the gates. So
Yeah. No,
hopefully they did. Yeah.
I was patiently waiting myself, but yeah, that's still interesting to see how it works.
Yeah. And we're gonna go through a few scenarios together,
Sure,
and see
sure.
like and one of the big question that I have though, or one of the big fears, if I can even call it that way, is
Mm-hmm.
some people are telling that, hey, is this going to be the replacement of like the web developer? Is AI ready to take over our jobs? And usually that makes me laugh, but it's the valid question, and we're going to talk about that when while we are here. Hey, Ryan,
Hey, Adi.
how are you, man?
I'm well. It's a good Wednesday.
Good, good. So
I hear AI is taking over our jobs.
well, people are worried
Apparently.
about that. I don't think so. I personally don't think so. And I
Mm.
think personally, I think it's going to augment, our productivity if we use it the right way. But until AI can figure out intent and have empathy and emotion, and people are telling me, yeah, it's just around the corner, then I'm okay. I think I feel safe for now.
Yeah, we've had in the past we've had a lot of tools that could have replaced developers and they never did. So I don't think
Uh,
this would be replacing us.
yeah, I
Even
mean,
with
it's
guessing
yeah.
intention, I wouldn't say it will.
I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I don't know if we don't want to even go on that tangent, but to me, until the machine is able to create original thought, you know, we probably have nothing to worry about on that end. And when I mean by original thought, everything that AI
Yeah.
is doing right now, as we understand it, and as we're gonna see with GitHub Copilot, everything that we're doing with AI at this very moment in time, is something that it learned from other models and other samples, if I understand it correctly yet. it's nothing that was just original thought, you know. If I decided right now that I wanted to call like an apple an orange and put a convention about why I'm calling an apple an orange, other human beings can quickly pick up and say, okay, in this context, like, you know, apple means orange. But can a computer go to that level of complexity to something that seems like so, you know, I mean, just look at a 2-year-old. A 2-year-old call whatever he or she wants, whatever she wants, and everybody understand them. So to me, if we don't have that flexibility in the thinking of the machine, we should be okay. Hopefully, hopefully.
Aren't we getting there already?
Yeah, well, I don't know. So let's at least have like, let's talk about today the fun side of, like, you know, coding and AI with coding. We all are programmers here. Ryan, why don't you present? Tell us a little about yourself, so people can put you in context and see, hey man, this is like the next AI, like, you know, super genius. So let's bow down to him. So go ahead, man. We're listening.
Sure. Fun fact: I actually hate AI and ML. Well, let me be clear. I hate being the one to program it. If you want to code something for me that does all the statistics for me, that's great. I will use your solution. I love it. I love what it can do, and I think it's unavoidable. It's just so useful in so many cases. And I started coding. What is it now? 6 years ago. So it's been a bit, and now I work for in the medical health industry, coding mostly front end. I've done also some back end stuff, but I consider myself full stack with a gravity towards the front end, and met Adi in a job, and now I'm here talking about how I'm going to be obsolete in 50 years.
Oh, come on. 50 years, man. You should be like in your palace
5.
somewhere
You're
doing
right.
something.
Yeah.
If the
You'll be
only thing you
retired
worry
by
about
that
50
time,
years,
maybe.
man, come on now.
But you're right. In order for AI to really take over a job, they would need to understand intent. But not only that, we'd have to tell it what to do clearly.
Yes.
Without ambiguation.
Yeah, exactly.
And we can't do that yet. I don't think we're ever going to be able to do that as humans.
Right.
I tend to not do this type of affirmation like we will never be able to do this, because history has always shown us that what we thought we will never be doing, we did it anyway. So
that's a good point.
I just imagine like the first time, like whatever those brothers' name were, when they were talking about, like, you know, putting together an airplane, you know, how people should have looked at them at that time, and how people thought about, like, okay, being able to go and have dinner in be in New York in the afternoon and have dinner in Senegal or like somewhere else, like, you know, by evening. If you said that like a few years ago, that gets you hanged, you know, because so yeah, I'm scared of the word never. I don't trust it. But the one word that I hate is just, you know. Anytime somebody who doesn't do technology comes and say like, oh, it's just 2 lines of code, or it's just like, you know, a header, I'm like, you have no idea like what we're dealing with, buddy. I hate the word just. So that for me is something else. Okay, so I just wanted to make sure this is the better. That's funny though. I have a Mac there, but when I'm streaming, I stream with Windows because that's the best streaming that you can get. And I did not have Copilot installed on my Windows. So while I was making you guys work, I was like making sure that I had Copilot on the other computer. All right, so I'm going to share a screen. And the way that we're going to go about it is basically we're going to think about a couple, 2 to 3 scenarios, see what, like, you know, Copilot is going to do for us. And if we accept and we're going to make those programs run. They have to be, at the end of the day, if they don't run in the end, it doesn't count, you know. And we're going to see how accurate it is, how much like massaging we need to do. And I have a fun exercise at the end. You know, all this like lead code interview test that they give you. We're going to take one of them, and then we're just going to put it in and say, AI, okay, make us look good on the lead code interview test or something like that. We'll just, like, you know, do some fun stuff like that.
Sounds interesting.
All right, so let me see. I'm going to share my screen. We are
For a second, I thought you were going to ask us the leak code question. I'm like, oh crap, I
I
didn't say it.
might say before Copilot says something, how you guys would go about this, you
I'll
know.
just ask Copilot in my own VS Code.
Okay, all right. I won't put you on the spot. Ibrahim Assis, what's up, man? Good to see you. So let's see. Some people are joining us from LinkedIn, some others like on YouTube, some others on Twitch. So yeah, if I don't get to your comment, just bear with me. I'm trying to do 5 things. I need AI to help me with this actually. So let's start sharing and share the screen. Sharing is easiest with 2 monitors. Sharing works best on a good computer. Okay, thank you. All right. I mean, I know, but I have only 1 computer right now. So okay, so you guys gonna see yourself for a second, and let me know if you can see my Visual Studio Code.
Yeah, I can see it.
Okay, cool. All right,
Yep.
so we'll start from there, and I have Copilot installed globally. Are you ready, buddy? I have to find it. I have to find my Copilot a name. That would be good if they have Copilot avatars, and then you give them a name. Okay.
Hook it up with an Alexa.
Something. Oh man, this is getting too much. I'm talking to Alexa in the
Yeah.
morning, to Google.
Alexa is a good name though. That
Copilot,
was
fix my
great
bugs.
from
Yeah. Copilot 6 o'clock, you got my 6. Or Copilot, do you have my 3? Oh yeah, that would be cool. All right, so let's do this. Let's okay, no more array map today. We'll leave the Copilot window open just if we need a quick reference. They have a beautiful website, by the way, very nice. And actually, I want to start there because they have a good statement in there that I like for everybody to take as like, not github.com, GitHub Copilot. Okay, so your AI pair programmer. So yeah, this whole fancy stuff, but what I like about it is how honest they are right here, where they're talking about the percentage. I think it's a very nice it's a very nicely put, like yeah. So for example, right here, right away, for people who are always like, I mean, the pessimistic in me, can GitHub Copilot introduce insecure code? There's a lot of public code in the wood with insecure code patterns. So it's copying from us at the end of the day. This is
yeah.
not something it has created, like, from like, it like went and scanned like our millions and millions, trillions of lines of code. So if we are introducing like bad code patterns, there are some that are going to come in here. Okay.
Mhm.
So so that is something to and there was one where they were asking like if that does like perfect code, and I like that line. So
I think I saw that in one of the posts talking about GitHub Copilot, where they were
yeah,
talking about 26%, something like that.
exactly. So does GitHub Copilot write perfect code? No. And I like that. Tries to understand your intent, and that's it. You see, the word intent is coming again. It tries to understand the intent and generate the best code it can. But the code it suggests may not always work or even make sense. So the thing is, you have to take this with a grain of salt. Me, I use it as a drafting tool, but I'm not just going to blindly take the code that it gives me and just push it. That will not be responsible,
Yeah.
So now that we have our kind of lines in there, let's come here and we're going to do the very first exercise we're going to do. Let me create where I'm at right now. Let's do control this and let's see pwd. I'm in Afro Stream, so let me go back up and I'm going to create a new directory here that I'm going to call Copilot. Okay, and let's just code into it. All right. So, okay, Coca, thank you. You are great, but I don't need to talk to you right now. So, okay, so I am in Copilot here. And in Copilot, the very first one is I'm going to ask Copilot to help me write a Fibonacci function. Okay,
It should be easy
classic
for
thing,
Copilot.
like classic thing that we find.
Mhm.
And let me make sure that we are seeing the appearance. We are seeing the, what is it called? The
Console.
the panel. No, not the panel. So I just want to make sure that people see that Copilot is running right now. Anyways,
Oh,
it is
the
running.
bottom toolbar.
Yeah, the bottom toolbar. Yeah. So view, editor layout,
Maybe appearance.
appearance,
Probably.
Status bar? I think it's
status bar right there. Yeah, there you go. So it says go live, and I don't see Copilot here yet, but let's do.
You also have to replace the dash in the file name with dot.
Yeah, that's a good call right there. It's not gonna help you with that.
Not yet.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a good point. Not yet.
So where's the rename? Come on,
I
man.
think VS Code released something just recently where it can
Xcode
automatically.
would work though. Okay.
Yeah, all right, there you go. Fibonacci .gs. Okay, so now we want to, and you see, okay, Fibonacci like function to find the ends. It should have already been triggered right now. Fibonacci number. Okay. So I see that Copilot is not running here because it would have already started to do some other suggestions. So let's do function. Yeah, it's not running on this window. And for the sake of time, what I'm going to do, I know it's running here. I'm not going to debug or anything like that. Let's take this away. And wherever I am, that's where we're going to leave. So I'm going to create a new file here, and I'm just going to call it Fibonacci. It's like that, Fibo? One.
One
Fibonacci.
thing.
Fibonacci.gs. Okay. All right. Function is telling me that it's running global, but I don't see it here. Should I restart my VS Code?
Probably.
And in doubt, turn it off and back on again.
Yeah.
What happened if you right click on the status bar? Do you see? You should see GitHub Copilot there.
So it's here. This extension is enabled globally.
You might be able to get some command palette help if you do Control Shift P and then
when I
search
do
Copilot.
this, yeah, there's no Copilot here.
Yeah, when I right click, I see my GitHub Copilot that is checked.
Okay.
So.
Let me just don't save. Let's just do this. Don't save. And let's just start a new one. Visual Studio Code. Okay. All right. Oh, come on. I have to sign in again? Okay. Always allow it. Okay. Maybe that was that. Open. I agree. Thank you. All right. Now I see it. Now I'm happy. I can see it here, right here.
Amazing.
Cool.
Turning it off and back on again helped.
Yeah, and I think I had to just say always for the Copilot thingy, the sign, the permission. So let's go to the files, and I'm just gonna. Where am I right now? Sorry, guys. PWD, and I'm okay. Just do. Sorry, that's just one of my little pet peeves here. Code and Copilot. CD code and make directory Copilot and CD into it. What am I doing? Code into it. Ah, nice. All right, and I see Copilot again here. I'm a happy man now. Now in Copilot, we have this new file that we call Fibonacci.js. Okay, I'm going to start fairly easy, I guess. All right, so we'll say we need a function to get
starting.
Yeah, you see I do the Fibonacci sequence, but I want the nth Fibonacci number. Okay, and when I'm okay with the suggestion, I just hit on tab, and I see like what I accept. The way to accept is to do tab, and then you accept the suggestion. But I'll show you something even cooler after a little bit. Let's just do the first one. So now it says function Fibonacci n. Do I like it? Yes. And then it gives me this sequence. I mean, this suggestion. So this is like our exit. So since the Fibonacci is going to use a recursion, this is going to be our exit condition. If n is less or equal to 1, then return it. If not, just jump back in the loop by like calling Fibonacci, like, this way. But look at this thing. It has an option here, open GitHub Copilot. This is the thing that is like kind of just out of this word for me. So when you are not okay with the very first suggestion, you can open that one and it will synthesize about 10 other solutions for you. Okay. So we had this first one that it gave us, it gives us some other ones. And then here, you're going to go like, look at it from like a code quality perspective, your coding style. And I like where I see the comment here that it has a base case and the recursive case. The fact that it's self-commenting right here, I like this solution already, okay? And I can click on accept solution.
Wow.
All right. And then right there, I have it, so this thing is cool. And then I'm going to say console that log Fibonacci of 5. And I think Fibonacci of 5 is 5, but let's go Fibonacci of I don't know.
Did Copilot autocomplete that?
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah, it already knows that I'm going to probably call like the function that is right there and give me the right argument for it. So when I do Control S on that, and let's open this, and let me put this on the right, move panel right here. And where I'm at, PWD, I'm in code, and this is inside of Code Copilot. Okay, so CD Copilot, and let's run node Fibonacci. And yeah, so it's 610 right there. So I'm going to use git bash so we don't have to deal with this nonsense. There you go. So PWD and node Fibonacci.
You need to CD into Copilot.
CD Copilot. And then node Fibonacci. And it gives us 610. Okay. Double check.
According to the internet, that's right.
It is.
Yeah.
All right. So 1 win for Copilot. But now the pessimistic in me, or like the performance nerd in me, is telling me that we could do better. Because Fibonacci, great, we have this. But how about if I wanted to use memoization? It's the Fibonacci. I can make sure that it caches something that it already found. So let me see if I can make it do memoization function, get the nth Fibonacci number. And this time I'm going to say using, did it just type memo? Did you guys see that I just installed like Copilot in this computer? It's telling me using memoization. I'm not shitting you, all right?
The suggestion after.
Okay, so using memoization. Can it listen to what I'm saying? Maybe that's how it got it. I don't know.
Nah.
Okay, function Fibonacci, and now I have two arguments, n and then the memo object. This is amazing, man. And here, knowing that I like clean code, it's giving me suggestion with the base case already. And look at this. So if we do have the memo, it will return it. If not, it will like go ahead and store it by just like going back. I mean, this is like an optimized way of doing like, you know, the Fibonacci sequence.
Right. That also means that beside learning from the whole GitHub, it learns from your own preference
It
because it
does.
gave you a commented version.
Yes, exactly. I saying like, okay, this guy is anal. Let me just give him a commented version.
What happens if you add the using memoization comment onto the first function? Does it give you suggestion to
So let's
update it?
see if it, I don't know. Let's try.
Oh,
Okay. So using memoization, and then here it should be, yep.
Huh.
Now it's giving me the second argument. And then what do I do? What do I do? So it's going to be in the recursive case. Is it going to try something?
Maybe you should
No.
type it.
So maybe let me just take out this guy at this point and say, help me, I'm stuck. Why N2? Why N2 here in this one? Okay. And okay,
because
if
the two
is
isn't.
yeah, it's
Yeah,
two is a one. Yeah, yep. So okay, let's do this. And then it gives me the recursive case. Memo N. And memo. This one is messing up. It is
No,
or
I
not?
think
No,
we
that's
are
fine.
correct.
It's
We are
fine.
So
correct.
good.
No.
And then it gives me the last. Okay. And return memo N. All right. So it basically did the same. So it don't matter. I can just reuse Fibonacci 15 here since I'm using the same logic. And I'm still going to have 610. Where it would be like nice is like if you could put those two functions side by side and compare like how fast it is, because we have used memo on like, you know, the second one. But yeah, this is pretty cool. This is
I mean,
pretty
we
cool.
can do that. The suggestion from Ryan was actually great because you added using memorization and then he turned Fibonacci. Now, what I would want to see also, if we reverse to the previous version we had, we erase the comment using memorization for the first one.
Oh, I went too fast. Let's do this.
Yes,
Okay.
and
Right
now
there.
in the parameters of your first version, you just type comma to see what it will do.
This one?
Yeah, in the
Oh,
parameters.
so without the thingy. So right here.
Yeah.
And we did not
type,
use the second comment. It's going to
it will
memo
still
right away.
recommend.
I don't know now if it is copying it from here, or is it just knowing that might be like if you have a second whatever, it should be this one.
That's a question.
Yeah, so I don't know if it just recognized that like we have it here, or now it has like recorded the way that we did it, or that's just something that it has seen before and it's like, okay, probably he wants a memo or something like that in this case. All right, so let me see if our third guest has joined us. Rafiki, maybe? No, I don't see him. Okay, cool. Let's go back. And real quick, Alun Kanute, Musa, saying hi to all of you guys. Sorry if I cannot like respond to the comments today, but we'll keep on talking about this, I think, for the rest of the week in the different like, you know, social media mediums that we have. And if you don't want the suggestion, you just press escape and it lets you go. Okay. I want to do a cool other case, if you don't mind. What time is it? Okay, I think we're doing good with time. Let's do convert CSV to JSON. What about that? That's a juicy
kind of
one.
complex.
Yeah. Let's see. We have to throw something at him and see like what he's gonna do. Okay, so yeah, let's do CSV to JSON.
Honestly,
JS.
if it does this perfectly, I'll use it because I've been converting CSV to JSON on my actual job a lot.
I mean, that's just one of those things. You have a brand new project or something like that. They don't have a database yet, but everything is in Excel files and stuff like that. And you have, I don't know how many times I had to do something like this, honestly.
Yeah.
So this time, what I'm gonna simulate is I'm not gonna use comments. I'm just gonna start typing and see if it's gonna like come and like help me out, because I might have existing code that I'm refactoring or something like that. So
Okay.
let's say I'm gonna start function and CSV to JSON. Okay.
Oh gosh.
Ooh, hold on. Wait a minute.
Wait, I need to compare this with the function I wrote before.
Hold
I
on a
seriously need
second.
to.
Excuse me. And it's gonna take a CSV parameter, and then okay. All right, you want to play ball? Let's play ball. Man, hold on a second. You are not gonna make me lose my mind. I'm gonna do constant fs equals require fs. Okay. Now, hey, he was already starting to do something. Oh, there is the CSV parser already in Node. We don't even have to do this. I did
That's
not
not
even know.
fun.
Yeah, I did not even know that there was a CSV parser like built in Node.
Oh,
Okay,
it's not built in. It's an npm package. According to npm.
well, yeah, I mean, yeah. So, but you can just require it. So do we have to install the CSV parser?
I think
Yeah,
so.
probably.
Yeah, because FS is part of Node, but
Yeah.
CSV parser probably we have to. Okay, let's say we don't want to use the CSV parser. We're just gonna. It's a dangerous package or something like that. Let's use something else. So now I want to do function CSV to.
Oh.
Ooh.
That's pretty cool.
Okay.
Wow.
What are the suggestions it has?
So the CSV file path is the CSV file you're gonna feed into it, and the JSON file path is I'm not sure here. For me, for example, I would take that and I will just output it the output directory or something like that. So I will take in and I will just use the JSON file path to use it as my output directory. So if I was doing a batch of CSVs, I can always take them in and then like output them in a specific output directory. Maybe that's what it's talking about.
Yeah,
So
probably.
I like that. Let's go and see the next line. Okay. Let me give you guys some space. Ooh, and it's doing a try and catch from the get-go.
That's nice.
That's very nice though. You
Okay,
see
so
this line where he's just plucking out the headers also? He knows that
yes.
in your CSV you will have a header, you need to pluck it out before converting the rest.
And now you see what I was saying, Ryan, before the catch. It says like fs write file sync, the JSON file path, and it will say like, you know, stringify the result and put it in there.
I think the cool thing about that particular line is that it automatically formats it for you. I think, if I'm not mistaken, the second and third parameters in JSON.stringify are used for formatting.
Exactly.
It's 7 steps ahead of you.
Oh my God.
And weirdly, this is the for loop, the 2 for loops actually, and the result.push. This is exactly the code that I wrote in my conversion that I did last time.
That's cool.
Oh man.
No, seriously, I have the code open right here in front of me, and it's exact same thing.
This is crazy. Now, if I wanted to use it, is it gonna be CSV to JSON? Yes. And it's gonna give me, okay, let's do this. Let's go. This is crazy. Let's do a CSV file. I don't want to create a CSV on the fly, which it could help me create a CSV, but I don't want to do that. So CSV file examples. Okay, so we have a username. Download CSV is the minimum data set for username, and onboarding with email. I want a heavy file though. This is about, okay, let's start small. Okay, username, password, recovery code. I want to save it in code, Copilot. And I want to put like just username so it's very easy to see. Sorry, usernames. Let's save it there. Let's go back. Let's open here, and then we have the username CSV. And okay, cool. Now they have like the line, the delimiter here. They are using a semicolon. Most CSV that you're gonna see are gonna use like a comma separated. So let's see here. It's doing okay. So you see the split, line 0 split. This is gonna fail because we should now. This is where it's cool. Like, let's add ourselves. This is, you guys see why it's gonna fail, because it's like assuming we're gonna have like comma separated. Okay. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add a delimiter argument, and I'm gonna give it a default. Yeah, it's typing that for me. Okay.
Wow.
Cool. Now here, the split, I'm gonna use delimiter. Control D, I believe. Yep, delimiter. Okay. Now that I have this, I can pass in. If I don't pass in a third argument, it will just like have this one by default. But for our particular case here, I'm gonna pass in my delimiter, which will be the semicolon. Okay. So let's do this. And now I want to do one last thing. I'm gonna have a folder, and I'm gonna call it Json. I don't know. Okay. I wanted to put this stuff there. So now I'm gonna do CSV to JSON, and I'm gonna give it, the first argument is the file name, and the file is username CSV. The second argument is what is it gonna be called? Okay. So let's just give it username JSON. And then lastly, I want to pass in a delimiter, but I'm going to do a semicolon for the delimiter. There you go. And Control S. We got everything. Let's go in here. I'm in Windows, so that's clear. In PWD, I'm in Copilot, so node CSV to JSON, and we have a username JSON that has been created.
Gosh.
Wow.
This is strong though.
This is amazing, man. This is amazing, buddy. This is something else, man. And of course, what we were talking about, we had to add the delimiter, and that's the thing. That's why I'm saying it becomes a natural extension of like how you code, and you still have to be very careful about those things, because it's not gonna go, and it's gonna give you maybe like a very good guess, but it's not suggesting that it's the perfect. Because what happens if, for example, this CSV did not have any headers? Sometimes I receive CSV like that. So you will have to include a map and show if like those headers are present. If they're not present, then you have to force the issue. Because if not, this line will fail.
maybe if we looked at the whole suggestion of GitHub Copilot, we would have found a version without
Yes.
headers, maybe.
Now let's do that. So
Yeah, that's a good idea.
let me do this. Control X. Yeah, we'll get back to you. And here,
It already comments it for you.
function. Okay, CSV to JSON. Okay, it does that. And I take it, but the very first thing that I want to do is say I wanted to add something else here. It's giving me a callback this time, not the delimiter. And current line, headers is still line 0. Now, let's go to Copilot and see if it has some suggestion for us here. And quickly, Control B will collapse the thing on the left. Let me give us some space here.
Solutions.
So that was the first one, I think.
Yep. This one too, line 0. This one is pretty.
What is this?
Convert to CSV to JSON. Is it gonna do another?
Maybe it'll add another function.
It will probably add another function. I'm gonna find out about that one and see. But I want to see. It's always using headers. Okay, let's add one requirement for it in the comments. So let's just say now in the comments, let's do. And I think you can use like block comments too if you want to go faster. And say, wow, it's already doing the, this is crazy. Okay, but you're going to help me write the function. So let's not get ahead of ourselves here. And I want a function convert CSV to JSON. CSV might not have headers present. Let's see if
there was a suggestion, and it might. That's interesting. I want to see what is going to happen.
Yeah.
Okay. It's still giving me the headers at line 0. Okay, let's see here if it has anything novel for us. No headers. Okay, so headers, every one of them is assuming that we're going to have headers.
There's something with a pop?
Yeah, I saw something different.
You see how this one does like comments every line? Read the CSV file, split the CSV file in rows, get headers, get rows, create the JSON object, and then does this. This one is cool. I like that. But you said, JSON pop. Okay.
JSON, yeah.
And this one says, read file sync, CSV file path, let JSON CSV map. Okay. How is this one giving headers back?
I think he's just removing the headers with JSON pop.
I think so. Like it's not even considering headers, maybe.
Yeah, but that how will the JSON be generated then?
No,
probably from the index on line 143.
So no, hold on. It mapped and it got all the rows. So JSON pop is going to be the very first row. Okay. So now it just removed the very first one. But then, okay, so this
seems to not use headers.
Yeah, so this one will not use headers.
And then it sets the field. I think the key is the index. On line 143, uses obj.
Yeah.
Index.
You're right.
Yeah, and row reduce. Oh my God, it's even using reduce the right way. Son of a. Okay. I think like
Pretty cool.
if it's very cool. Might not have header included, and yeah. So we should we should have a better description. I think that's what it is. So if we
Maybe
have
it
a
needs
better
a verb,
Mhm.
a
like
Should
verb,
not
yeah,
or should not have headers.
yeah. So if
or
you
like
say,
function to convert CSV to JSON and handles the case that headers aren't present.
yep, and handles the case where headers headers
Okay. Header.
are not. There you go.
Okay.
Right. So let
Think
me
we can
go.
do like a comment that says like and no bugs, please. And no bugs.
I don't think it can do that.
That would be perfect.
Okay. It's still giving me headers online one. Okay, that's fine. To
But
me,
it formats it differently with 4 spaces instead of 2.
this time, yeah.
Mm.
All right. Let's do one last one. I think we saw that this works if we have headers. So I would have probably have another helper function that I will call check headers, and then that check headers, I will just have it like run it as like a part here, like a check header. And if headers are present, do something. If headers are not present, do something else.
Yeah.
Probably that's how I would go about it. But here for the files, for 90% of the files that are going to come with a header already, this takes care of it. And I'll just like in my unit test, and that's the thing that I love Copilot for. I write now my unit test with Copilot.
Wait, is
You
that
know,
possible?
it is
Because
possible.
Wow.
that's the only thing, actually, the only drawbacks I was seeing for Copilot. But
Oh my, if you just like, I don't know, you have to have your setup ready and stuff. But I started to describe so let's try to trick it. Okay, we have this CSV to JSON, and let's do uh export let's see, let's do export constant CSV
mm,
to JSON equals
I
this.
have doubts. I have doubts, to be honest. But let's see.
Okay, so now we have it exported as that. Should we just do default export? Whatever, that's fine. Now let's come here. Hopefully, it's not going to ask me this ESM stuff with the import and export, but CSV to JSON JS, and then now I'm going to do CSV to JSON that spec that JS. Yeah. Right, and I'm going to say import. I'm going to do it from Jasmine, but
Wow.
from
I guess it takes in the file name and auto completes the
Yeah.
Jasmine for you.
yeah, that's pretty cool because I just did spec in there. The moment that I have spec in there, and here, what's the CSV to JSON. Okay, so let's start with what, a describe block. Okay, describe block, and here let's call it does it work. And here, I think if I remember my Jasmine, it's it.
Yeah.
And what am I eating here? Describe does it work? CSV JSON is a valid function, whatever. All right, so we go with the it block.
Oh, there is that.
No way.
It should.
There was a suggestion from it
Yeah, the
already.
thing though is like I think when you close the parent, yeah,
Oh.
it
Yeah.
should be a function. Okay, let's take that.
You know, I've
Expect type of.
spent the whole day writing tests today,
Wow.
and I
That's
didn't know it could do it for me.
Okay. And I don't even have the real setup in place right now. I just kind of faked it, you know. So it should be a function. Okay. Now let's see. What else is you gonna give me? Are you gonna give me something else? Okay. It. I think if you. Well, I did. It's not. It's not returning a
No, we're not.
promise. Whatever. So that's like a tangent. Let's just say that if we have everything properly included and everything like that, it will know already what to do and it will give you the right suggestion. I actually tested it on what was I doing? I tested it and it wrote like 5 it blocks for me that was valid from the get-go.
And
Yeah. Yeah. I hate writing unit tests, so that's a good way for me to quickly do it and then be done with it. Now, last but not least, because we have about 10 minutes, do you guys want to go through any scenario or something? I have one, but if you have one better, we'll take that one. What I wanted to do, I'll tell you, and you tell me if you have anything else that you want. Find every console statement in a file and remove it.
Oh, it can remove code.
Yeah, to remove like all the console that warn, that log, that info, whatever, because usually we want them in production, even though there's another trick we do. But could we do something like that? And could it help me, somebody like me who hates regex, writing like a valid regex and do that?
we all
Hmm.
hate rejects. Let's go with that.
You have a
Okay.
problem, you solve it with regex, and now you have 2 problems.
Oh my God.
Definitely.
Yeah. I will not be able to evaluate if that's a right regex or not, but at least I'll be able to test it and see if it's good enough. And then, I'll make myself available for code review. Why not? Okay, so let's say let's create a file and a lot of consoles, console.js. And we
I'll
will do
definitely
console.
test the test stuff. I'll definitely do it because I've been
Oh
writing,
yeah, try it,
not
man.
trying to mock HTTP requests. So yeah.
Yeah, Fibonacci 15. Well, no, I don't have Fibonacci present here. So what are you talking about?
I
Trust
guess
me.
it learns your
So yeah,
workspace.
it does.
Mhm.
Lorem ipsum. So for that, and then so let's go real quick. Copy, Control V. Okay, so I want to do this one. Info. I want to do this one. Another log is fine. I want to do warn. And what's the other one? We have log info error.
Yep.
Error. Okay. And in between, I want some kind of code, function something, function add something, function adds numbers. Okay. It knows that I'm going to do something like that. Add numbers. And here you're just going to do return A plus B. Here I want to do function multiply some numbers. Okay. And 8 times B. And even that is like doing it nicely for me. So now, after I have console locked out this thing like to to oblivion right now, I want to have a function that can target a file like this and remove all the console statement. Okay. So let's create a new file. And we're going to call it remove console. Remove console. Just remove console.js. And here, I'm going to say function to find all console elements and remove them.
Yeah.
Okay, but does it mean, what does it mean? Function to find all the console elements and remove them. Okay. Function remove console.
Oh,
It's
it's in
making
a
it as a
comment.
comment.
Function remove console. Yeah. So what you are doing is not what you ask you to do. Okay. So function to find, function to, let me show you. And that's my 2 weeks experience with Copilot. Function to read a file and remove all console.log statement. Okay, let's start there. And oh, I should have tab first. Okay, that's what it does. And here, read the file. But this is just going to take console.log out. Is it going to take the entire statement out? It seems like it will just take. Okay, let's do something nicer. To remove all statement starting with console that, because if somebody's talking about a video game, with console that, and ending with, I'm going to even do this. Let's say this is what I want. Okay, function remove console file path. Okay, constant. Okay, cool. Oh, I like that. Oh my. Okay, constant if. Okay, let's just see what it does.
Wow, that's cool. It was able to understand that complex sentence.
Yes.
Yeah.
And now
you're describing regex, and then he'll understand it.
I don't like. I really like the first iteration, but let's do something. I'm just gonna cut it for now.
If I've learned anything, is that Copilot can write my regex for me.
That's a good takeaway.
Now let's go and look at this suggestion. Okay, we should have. All right. So it's doing the substring here, read file sync, toString split, let new lines. And then if it is index of console that and ends index of this, then wow, okay. It's doing it here again. Line start, line ends with. Start with, ends with. So most of the thing is index of, which is the same thing as start with and end with. It's just start with and end with basically are using index of as a wrapper. Underneath, that's what they're using anyways. And look at this one. Woo! This is the one that I was looking for. Look at this guy. Regex my way. Aha! Look at this. Are you kidding me? If it starts with console and ends with.
And it comments it for you.
Whoop, 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 whoop. Oh.
File path, file content.
All right. This is the solution. Are you kidding me?
I mean, that's
and we have to know.
Oh my Lord. Now, so let's go. Let's go now. I want to be able to compare what we had and what we have. So I don't want to just wherever that file was in a real world scenario, we will probably have a dist folder. Okay. And that dist folder will have the file name. Okay. So I'm going to say here, I'm going to add output directory. And then here in the file path to write it, that's the contents. So the writing would be output dir, okay, then file path, and then file content. Okay.
Great.
Laksan, you're doing code review like in real time. Does it look good?
Yeah, that's perfect. That's
All
perfect.
right.
But no, I find Windows to be really, really slow in using shortcuts.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, so now we wanna just use remove console, and wow. Dang. Okay, we don't have to go all the way there, buddy. We can just do that lot of console.js. Okay.
And put it in our dist
And
folder.
then dist folder. So the output is gonna be dist.
Yeah, no.
And then nothing else. That's it. Okay. Control S.
Moment of truth.
Yep. So let's clear this out. And it's remove console node. Remove.
Console.
Okay. So now we have an error. That's good. And I was expecting that it might be the dist folder.
We didn't import actually.
You need to import FS.
Yeah, FS.
We
yeah.
didn't import FS.
So it could
For
have had
shame,
FS.
Copilot.
So
so
let's just do constant inside here.
Right.
Let's just import it here. There you go. So it's inside. And what am I doing?
I can't even blame Copilot. This is stuff I do on my own.
Copilot is gonna be as good as us at the end of the day. Okay, cool. Now
let's see what happened now in our dist.
Let's go to our dist folder. Holy. Oh my. Okay, let me put it on the right. How do you do that again? Hold on. Yeah, it was right there. Nice. Oh, split right. Okay, Control B. Now the original one is no, this is the same file. So the original one is right. No, hold on. So this is the let me show you. So this is the original file, okay, with the console. Mm-hmm. Now, if we go here and we say go to the dist folder and do this, so now you have them side by side. But it did not replace. It replaced the first one. You see, it did not replace the other ones. Okay, Control B. It replaced the first line, but then did not replace the rest. So in our remove console, did we have a G statement?
Yeah.
We did have a G statement.
File content replace starts with console. But does it consider the file content as just one thing? But not, is that it doesn't take it line by line actually?
It doesn't take it line by line.
So if it considers it as a whole thing, it will just remove the first of the whole thing, even with global.
Mm-hmm.
Are you using semicolons on all your console statements?
Good question. Yeah, so there's a semicolon on all of them.
Ah.
So this says console starts with console dat and W.
Oh, maybe it's the caret at the beginning because it's going to replace the starts with. So the caret I think means started the string, so it's only going to look at the
So
start of the string.
it looks like it
Yeah.
looked at the file as one string and then yeah, okay. This is where we
Yeah.
need to I will say remove all constant statement, and this is where you go and you say, okay, let's replace this part, file contents, replace, and it's going to
Oh,
give us a
there it
second
is.
one right here. This one is
Yeah.
the one.
Yeah.
There you go. Now, if we come back here and we run it, there you go. Look, no,
It removed everything.
it removed everything. So this is the one in this, and this is the one. Where's a lot of console? Um, this is the
Just right
one.
there.
It's gonna. This is the thing that I hate. So this is the one in this. Okay, and if I have to highlight one and click it so it shows in the same window, and this is the original one. Control B. So look, it took all the
Yeah.
statements of console here and then took them out.
There was something you were talking about, like if someone is talking about video games or
Mhm.
console, could we add just somewhere a text that contains console, not console.log or anything, just console
Yeah.
in the
So
first
let's do that.
example?
Let's do
It can be a
here.
comment even, I think.
Yes, let's do that. This console statement should be safe. Yeah. So, and let's run it one more time. Yeah, right here.
Yeah, it's safe.
It's safe because the pattern that it's looking for is it has to start with console and then have that. The that has to be right after console. And then the end of the statement is like this guy here.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We can have any character but ends with a
Yeah.
semicolon.
And yeah, it can have anything inside, but it has to end with this and a semicolon, and then you'll have it. That is pretty cool. And I'll
That's
probably
perfect.
like have some edge case, stack, and then turn it into a utility that I will run against a batch of files and just like, if I wanted to do something like this. Of course, it's not ready as is, but this is a good first draft. This is a great first draft. All right, man. GitHub Copilot, you pass with flying colors. Here's your
Yeah.
license and everything like that. You made it to the academy, man. This is amazing. I don't know if there were some comments going on while we were like doing this, so I'm gonna stop sharing my screen.
At some point, we are going to be the copilot, and he's going to
Yeah,
be
man.
the head.
I mean, I want to be the head pilot. I just want to think about the code, tell it what to do, and have him like write it for me. I'm okay with it, because at the
Yeah.
end of the day, though, I mean, on a serious note, even though we could just not blindly just say, okay, this is good code, we had to go look at it,
Mhm.
maybe do line by line. It's always good if already like it can help us with writing our unit test to make sure that like we're doing all the things to deliver like quality code.
Yeah.
But honestly, for me, it has been a joy like working with it. I just start something. I like, for example, I do a lot of content creation. I do like tutorials and stuff like that. And sometimes I want to get something original, but it's so painful to like, okay, but now I can think about the lesson and just say like, okay, I just want a function that does this, this, and that. And like you saw, I can pick one of the functions that has like, that is more readable to, for example, a junior developer or somebody that I'm going to teach that concept. And then that allows me as a teacher to just have those as my notes. Okay, let's build this together. This is how we could go about it. And on the fly, we can change things if we needed to. So to me, it's a natural extension of whatever your code brain is. I will not take it as a replacement from getting real skills. You have to be able to
Yeah.
evaluate the code. I will not recommend it to somebody who's learning a particular concept. I will say, okay, the cool thing that you can do, turn off Copilot and find the solution on your own. Then turn on Copilot and then turn on Stack Overflow and the rest and see, compare until you get to the point where you are confident that you can evaluate the code and then make a judgment about it. And even at that time, like I was just doing with Lassan, it's just like Mamadou Lamin, just have somebody else have a code review process, because we
Yeah.
are just like, we are bound to make mistakes. We are bound to make errors. I don't know. What's your take on it? Go ahead, guys.
I mean, I definitely think same actually. As an example, those past months, I decided that I was going to learn data structure and algorithms, and that's exactly what at the time that I installed GitHub Copilot. So one of those times, I was trying just to rewrite a complete binary search. I start
Mm-hmm,
writing const binary search, and GitHub Copilot just proposed me the recursive version of binary search. And I was like, hey, I have two choices there. Either
mm-hmm,
I can look at this code, or I
mm-hmm.
can actually deactivate GitHub Copilot and learn actually. So that is something, if you are really learning, this is not something you should use. If you are
Exactly.
sure of your code now, it can assist you with bugs
Mm-hmm,
that you will correct yourself.
mm-hmm.
And that's
Yeah,
the point for me.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, it's a tool, and at the end of the day, you have to use it responsibly. What's your take on it, Ryan?
I'm pretty much a big fan. I like where GitHub's moving in this direction. I'm
Mm.
not one to actually implement AI or stuff like that. Statistics just not my thing, but I love to see the kinds of things that could be applied to,
Mm-hmm.
particularly
Yeah,
something that makes coding and learning code a whole lot more easy, as you guys have mentioned.
Exactly.
I
Yeah.
love linting. I love type checking. That's why I really like TypeScript and ESLint and all those other tools, because it
yeah,
catches stuff early on, so that when you go along your coding journey trying to fix a bug or create a feature, you can deliver value in the beginning instead of trying to bolt it on at the end. So I can really see this
Exactly.
being pretty revolutionary. I'm
yeah,
Exactly.
particularly
that's
interested to
definitely.
see how this goes with the legal system, just because it's consuming online code and online code has licenses. And
Yeah,
is
Yeah,
there
exactly.
like
but
a
Is
it's
it
it's
going on
it's
private repositories or just public,
no,
actually?
it's public. It's public, and that's why even when you using it, they are asking you to have it as a public thing. So that's they went into open source and like publicly available code out there, the same thing that
Yeah,
you would have gone and copy and paste. So I
and
think
Stack
they're gonna be
Overflow.
smart enough not to like use private repos as targets. There's enough in the
Let's see.
wild, but now that's the other flip of the coin. How much code in the wild is good code that we can trust it as like
yeah?
so
Can
there's
we
And I
even
that.
think
trust our own code?
that's
Huh?
where it won't replace us actually, because it
Exactly.
knows what is a right code, but what is a good code actually is different from what is a right code.
Yep.
And I would see this as a context aware search engine where you will write the context, it recommend you different code, and you just choose.
Hmm. Exactly, and you just choose. And then on top of it, like you saw, as you and your organization start adopting it, it starts like learning from the way that you guys code. So it's
Yeah,
never like placing itself as, hey, I'm gonna come and give you the way to code. I'm gonna find out how you code, and I'm gonna give you the best suggestion possible based on that context that I'm learning and that intent that I'm learning from you.
Hmm.
So, to me, I in all my personal stuff, of course, I'm using it. I'm not really using it yet on client code. I just want to make sure that before I do it, they are okay with it. So this is why I did this live today. Some of them like were able to watch some of it, and then like if a company is okay to have it have a start or try it, just call me, man. I'm right here, and I'll do a demo for you, and we can talk about it. I'm a fan. We can talk about it all day. So thank you guys. I know that you took some out of your time. Ryan and I are going to be here every other Wednesday, coding about something. Feel free to jump in to join. We're going to be coding about API related stuff, web stuff, whatever else. We don't have a life. I don't have one. He doesn't have one.
Yeah, I'll start having a life too, because it was a pleasure joining, and I learned something actually, and I learned that I will use it to write my test now.
There you go. So tests for you, rejects for you, and everything for me. All right. That's a good plan. Thank you, guys. Let's make it happen again soon. All right. Thank you so much for joining.
Thanks a lot.
All right.
Bye.
Have a good one. Bye.